Hello and welcome to your Constant Contact tips and tricks video. In this video, we're going to take a tour of the new dashboard and campaigns page, show you how you can organize some stuff in there. We're also going to take a look at using some of the new templates I created for you, as well as copying blocks from one email to another. It's a lot to do, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at your new dashboard. This is the view you're going to see when you log into Constant Contact. If for some reason you don't see this view, you can always click on this little blue box up in the corner and it will take you right to it. Okay, so let's go over what you're going to see when you get to this page. At the top, you're going to see your most recent email that you've sent and some general stats about it. Below that, you'll see the next most recent 4 emails that you've either sent or worked on. The Actions tab, you're going to have option to copy, delete, preview, schedule emails, etc. Okay, so you can also find links to your contacts, some help, guides, and facts. At the bottom, you're going to see a View All Campaigns button. If you click on that View All Campaigns button, you're going to get taken to a new page. It looks more like what you're used to seeing. You can see all the campaigns you've worked on in the past. You can also get to this page by clicking on the Campaigns button up top. On the left of your My Campaigns page, you're going to see some ways to filter through all of your emails. The top one is going to be All Campaigns. You're going to see anything that you've worked on there. Below, you'll see folders. There's going to be an unfiled folder, which is going to have most of the stuff that you've worked on, and then a corporate templates folder, which is where I've put the email templates that I worked on for you guys. Underneath that, you're going to see status, where you can filter them by email drafts. You can look at just what emails you have scheduled. You can also look at what emails that you've sent. So that's a good way to find things as well. Don't worry about campaign type. They're all going to be newsletters for you guys. And then lastly is deleted. All emails that have been deleted from your account can be found here. All you have to do is click restore and it'll put them right back in your folders. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to add a new folder if you want to do a little bit of your own organizing. Just click on that little plus button, type in the name of your folder. You'll notice there's nothing in it right now. If you go to your All Campaigns list, we're going to look at this, grab this January buffet. Click Move to Folder at top and just click on your list. You'll notice when you look here in your All Campaigns, January buffet is still there. But if you go to your unfiled campaigns, you'll notice that it's gone. Instead, it's been moved into your list. So it's kind of a good way to find things, break it up however you want. You'll also notice it's still down here in your sent items. The only thing it does is take it from that unfiled folder and put it into a filed folder. Your status, your campaign type, and your all campaigns will stay the same. So that about does it for this page. At the top, you'll see links to your contacts, reporting, list growth tools, and your library, which we'll go into in more detail later. But for now, let's just focus on getting your campaigns organized and getting ready to start a new email using one of the templates that I've put into your Constant Contact accounts. Okay, so now we're going to look at using the templates that I've created for everyone. You're going to use this Create button up at the top. I just want to show you real quick. This button is available on many of the pages. If you go to your My Campaigns page, you'll see it there, as well as on some other pages. Let's go back to your dashboard, though, and let's start from here. So when you click on this Create button, you're going to get a pop-up box. In this box, you're just going to click on the Send an Email link at the top. Once you're in there, you're going to be directed to a page of templates. The first page that you're going to see are the Constant Contact templates. I'd stray away from these unless you feel like you're really advanced. On each of these gray bars, you'll notice a little phone icon next to the title if it is a mobile responsive template. So that's what you would do if you want to use one starting on your own. But for now, let's go to the Save Templates tab. On this page, you're going to see all of the email templates that I've created for your account. It should be anywhere between 8 and 10 in each of your templates. So you'll see there's a couple of standard versions, things that are easy for you to change. There's a Pizza of the Month, a fundraiser template. We have Tuesdays, for Tuesdays template. This one's another standard one that you can easily edit. Got one that's kind of based on the EDDM, Medical Mondays, as well as parties and Princess Night. So I encourage you to take some time to review all of these templates and see how you might use them. Some of them you might find that you don't need. If you want to, feel free to delete those. Otherwise, if you think of something that you wish was in there that you don't see, or if you have trouble with any of these, please feel free to give me a call at the office and I'll do what I can to help. All of the emails that you see in here already are campaigns that were requested by other franchisees. Okay, so let's pull one of these up and get started working with it. Just know that we do prefer that you use this method to start a new email rather than copying one if you prefer to use one of our templates. So I'm going to start with this Double Dave's Coupons template since it's got a few different elements for us to talk about. So first we're just going to change the campaign name at the top. I'm just going to type in coupons and the date to get us started. This way we'll be able to find it whenever we're looking for it, and we'll make sure we get a nice version saved for us to mess around with. So once we've done that, here we are, ready to start editing. You'll notice in this template that I've put some red blocks in that have some editing tips just for you to read. These are just things for you to read over closely and then use as you're editing. So for instance, this top one, text editing tip, talks about how you can make changes to, like, let's say text, like this daily specials text, without messing up the formatting. So if you thought you were just going to delete all of this and type in something new, you'll notice that now everything has this bold orange type. And it's a lot harder to go back and figure out, what all the text below looks like, what size it is, and whatnot. So it's easiest if you just highlight everything except for the first and the last digit or character of what you want to delete. Type in whatever new thing it is that you're wanting to showcase. So in this case, a large one topping for $10.99. And then if necessary, just go back and delete those first and last characters. Obviously, we didn't have to on this one because the 9 was the same at the end. The only other time that you do anything slightly differently is anytime your text changes, for instance, that orange or, if you want to keep that, then you need to make sure that you don't highlight it and delete it. Same goes with these little trademark symbols outside of the pepperoni roll sign. That's something that's written in code. You can't type that in. So if you delete it, it's gone. Okay, so that's a pretty easy way to change your daily specials. This next red box is going to give you some information about how to work with these awesome little coupons down here. So I just want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about these. You can read through all that, the text of the hint right there, but essentially what it's saying is that when you delete, if you don't want 5 coupons, you want to delete some, let's say even that the one that you want is a large one topping, because of the way that these blocks are built with the margins at the top and then down here at this on this last one at the bottom, what you're going to want to do is delete the coupons in the middle first, just because it's going to make it look right. It's going to balance out the margin in between as well as on the bottom. So let's just go in and, like we showed you earlier, highlight just the middle. Let's type in the new name, get rid of those first and last characters like we discussed. You can make the changes, I hit save before doing it, come back in, let's make the changes to the actual offer. You want to do that. And then finally, take some time to review the small print, make sure that you've got your expiration date like you want it and everything looks square there. So we want to make sure 6:30. Save that one, and then we'll go do the same thing with the next one. So we want to keep this one online savings. The only difference is we want to change the expiration date to match the first coupon, as well as let's add in a little bit of type that says this offer is one-time use. Just be sure when you're making your, these expiration dates are pretty far in the future. Constant Contact does suggest that you do pretty short, pretty big offers, like maybe more substantial offers than you're used to offering, but maybe have them expire in a week or two. It's a good way to get people to act right away with your coupons. So just take a little bit more time to review the rest of the email, make sure everything looks how you want it. Go ahead, it's always nice to click save every chance you get. I'm going to exit out of here, and we're going to look at what happened when this saved to our emails list. So as you see, you don't see anything here that says coupons and the date, which is what we named it. Instead, we've got this campaign created and the date. So what that means is that for some reason, when we renamed the email, it didn't take. And I'm going to scroll through real quick and make sure all of those changes that we made took, and it looks like they did. It's going to go ahead and come up here and type in again coupons, and the date, what we named it the first time. It should pop up, it should remember it. I'm not sure what kind of bug it is that causes some of these changes not to take sometimes. Just be real aware of what you're doing and what you see, and make sure that you're previewing your emails and you're double checking everything before you send it. Okay, so we got that changed. I'm going to exit out again just to check, and look, there it is. It has been changed. It says coupons 111 or 112.17. So let's get back in there. Wait for it to load. Once it's loaded up, go ahead and get rid of these tip boxes. You don't want those to go out to your customers, so let's delete those. And then just real quick, I'm going to show you something that you can do, how you can take these Pizza of the Month blocks and edit them to fit for each month. I'm just going to type in some different, a little more applicable type. It's midway through the month, so let's make our guest aware of that. One of the reasons that you're starting to see more of these blocks with a lot of type and small images is that I was informed that our emails are less likely to be sent to spam if there is equal amounts of editable type and images. So I'm starting to add more of these things, like these coupons and Pizza of the Month with some typed in descriptions and stuff. So it means a little more work on your part, but at the end of the day, your emails are going to be more effective. This is just me going to SlickPick to show you how it is, and excuse me while I get to the web gallery. Mine actually loads up a little bit different than what you see, so we'll get there real quick. So what this is going to do, I'm just walking through how you could change this up. If you want to copy this template next month, and of course next month it's not going to automatically change to next month's Pizza of the Month, so you're going to have to go in and make these changes yourself. So I'm just going to cheat and update it with the December Pizza of the Month stuff, just so that you can watch me do it. In each of the SlickPick folders for Pizza of the Month, you're going to see a 250 by 250 or 225-ish size square image that fits quite nicely in this Pizza of the Month block, and you're going to do it just like you do with all your other images. Just going to copy the image location, paste it in the URL, and there you go, that's changed. Then just go in and make your change to your the name of the pizza. Like I said before, make sure you're not highlighting that first and last letter if necessary. Go ahead and make a little bit of a change to the size of this text, since it's rolling over to 2 lines and we don't want it to do that. And then again, it's just some editing to the description. Make sure you get that right. And then once you've done edited the description, go ahead and double check that your expiration date at the bottom, that you change that as well, because that's one of the easy ones to forget. So I'm just going to change this to 12/31/16 because that's when that was good. So we'll save that and it's done. You're going to have to do that in the future whenever you send out one of these, so just make sure that you're aware of that. Look over the rest, it all looks good. I'm going to save it one more time just to be certain. Next thing I'm going to do is click on this header options box. This is to make sure that your subject line and your pre-header text that I talked about earlier, I believe I talked about it earlier. If not, your subject is what's going to be obviously in the subject line of the email. The pre-header text is what people are going to see on their smartphone when they get those little notification tabs, or if their email inbox is set up to just show the first couple of lines of text. This is what they're going to see. So that's really important. It gives people a real quick, you want to use that to give people a quick idea of what's going on. One of the other tips that I learned recently was that to make sure that you don't use a lot of punctuation, exclamation marks, etc. in your subject line. That can send stuff straight to spam as well. So once we've got that updated, I'm going to go ahead and click on the continue button or the schedule button. It's going to take us to the scheduling page. The very last thing I do before I schedule any email is to click on the preview. If you just click on that box there at the left, it's going to pull up the preview tab. And then once I'm in there, I'm just going to click on all the links and make sure they're taking me where they're supposed to be taking me. So I just kind of float my mouse all over the email to make sure that, I missed one right there, that doubledaves.com. Just to make sure that anything that comes up as a link actually links to the right place. And then I'm going to go over here to the send a text email section, make sure that it's going to the right place, and send a test email so that I can open it up in my email browser and make sure that it looks how I want it to look. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and schedule it to send now or to send later, however you want to do that. For now, we're just going to save it as a draft so that we can go pick it up in our campaigns list. So stay tuned. Next, I'm going to show you a super simple way to copy an email block from one email to another. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to copy a block from an existing email into a new draft email that you have, that you're working on. So each month I'm going to put the Pizza of the Month email in everyone's account. And the way I have to do that is I create it in one store's account, and then I can log in through the back end and actually copy that email to everyone's account. But what happens when I do that is that the store information for the original account that I made it in is what's going to be in your account. So when you open it up, you're going to see some other store other than you, all their information in this email. So we want to find a quick and easy way for you to copy your information into here without having to actually go in and retype everything. You might think that this isn't a lot of typing, but these stars are kind of difficult, links are kind of difficult, and why take the time to figure something out when you can just easily copy it, right? Okay, so we're going to look at this email and see what it is exactly that we need to pull from one of our templates that's already been created with your information. So obviously this store information block at the top is going to be replaced. All the Pizza of the Month stuff is fine. You're going to need to replace this buffet hours block most likely, as well as the footer with your contact information and this forward to a friend button. Just a quick note about this forward to a friend button. This is something that even on the templates that are in your account that I created for you is going to be incorrect. I didn't realize when I was making those that that button actually, the link breaks when you copy it to a new account. So those need to be changed on all your emails. But I'm going to show you a super simple way to do that. So let's start. We don't need to do anything to this email. We just wanted to look at it. We're just going to exit out of there. Now I'm going to show you how to go copy those blocks that you need from an existing email. Okay, so now that we're back to our dashboard, the first thing we want to do is just make sure that when we were messing around in that draft, we didn't accidentally make a new campaign. Sometimes you'll see that campaign created. If you do see that and you know that's what it is, just go ahead and delete that. But since that didn't happen here, we're just going to go now look at one of our templates that we looked at previously. We're going to start just like we did before by clicking on the Create tab and send an email. So once we get to our templates page, we're going to find the one that we think will work best or that has the blocks that we need. So since we're working on a Pizza of the Month email, we'll know that this template here is the same one that I used to design the one that will be in your accounts. So it should have all the blocks that you need. So we're just going to select that one, and it's going to open us up a new draft email to work with. So the first thing we talked about doing before was changing the name of this campaign, but since we're only here to grab some code and we're not going to save it, we don't need to mess with that. So we're going to scroll through. The first thing that we're going to do is let's grab the code from this address block. To do that, we just want to click on the address block so that we can get into the editing window. Now, if you were to just copy all of this and then go to your other email and try to paste it in, it wouldn't look right. All your formatting would be lost. Your stars would be lost. It's not going to be what you want. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to copy the HTML code instead. So the way you do that is just hover over this little HTML button. You'll see it says Code View pop up. Just click on that. It's going to take you to a new window with all your code. Just for your information, when you look at this, anything in purple, blue, or green, as well as these little opening and closing brackets around everything in purple, blue, and green, is going to be code. It's what gives you your formatting. Anything that you see in black is going to be the actual text that you see. So this is another easy way to go in and make some edits. Let's say you have a block of text that you really like the way the text looks, but you want to change what it says. If you were to just double click on all of that, like we talked about earlier, sometimes you can lose your formatting if you do that incorrectly. This is another way that it's kind of simple to just come in if you just want to change a phone number, or if you want to change store hours. This is another simple way to do that. But for now, since we're not actually changing anything, we're just here to copy the code. I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to copy it and close the window. That's all we have to do there. At this point, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and go to the new email and go ahead and paste this block in. But I want to show you a way that you can copy all of these blocks at once and get out of this email and not have to come back, as well as save all the code so that you can have it in the future. So it's a pretty easy solution. We're just going to open up a Word document. So I've got it right here. What you're going to do, I've already typed it in. You're going to type in address info block and just hit return a few times so that we can separate the HTML code from our personal title information for our own benefit. And then you're just going to copy that code that we just, paste that code that we just copied right in. You'll notice when you do that, everything turns black and you've got a lot of spelling errors and whatnot. Just ignore all of that. This is just a placeholder, and Word doesn't understand HTML. So we're going to leave that like that. Once we get here to the end of that, after we paste it, I'm just going to insert a page break. This is a way for us to separate. We're going to copy three different blocks into this document. So I just want to make it easy to separate them so that when we triple click to copy all of the code to paste back into the new email, then we actually don't grab the wrong code. Okay, so we've got that done. Let's go back to our second page, back to our email. Once we get back, we're going to cancel out of this block because we didn't make any changes. We don't want to save anything. It's going to tell us that they haven't been saved and ask if we're sure we want to cancel, and we're going to say yes, we don't need that. Then we're going to scroll through until we get to this buffet block. This is the next thing that we need to copy. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click on the HTML button. When the new window opens, we're going to copy or highlight everything and copy it, and then just close out of the window. And then let's go back to our Word document. So now that we have our buffet block ready to paste into our document, we're going to type in buffet block, give it some returns, and paste in the code, and again, put a page break in so that we're ready for page 3. And back to the email we go. We're going to cancel out of this one again, same thing, and go down to the last one that we're going to copy, which is the footer block. Again, we're going to click on that to get into the editor, and then click on the HTML tab to open up the code view. Highlight all the code, copy it, and close that window. One more time back to our Word document. I'm going to type in footer info and paste the code there as well. So we've got all the blocks that we want to copy into this document. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to real quick save this to my desktop. Just save it anywhere you want, but I feel like it will be easier for you if you have this document that you can pull up every time to start from, rather than going in, clicking on a template, copying the blocks each time. All right, so we're good there. Let's leave it open for now, but we've got it saved and it'll be available for next time. So here we are back to our email. Again, we don't need this block to be saved. We didn't do anything. Tell it we're done here. The last thing I mentioned earlier was this forward to a friend block. That's easier to actually change in the email, and I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. So let's exit out of this email. And again, let's make sure when we get to our dashboard that it did not create a version of this for us, which it did. Sometimes even just clicking on a block and clicking out of a block will make it create a new campaign, which I guess is good. That way you don't lose any work that you did. But we don't want it mucking up our feed, so we're just going to delete it. And now we're back to where we were before. The DD Corporate Pizza of the Month, January 2017 chili pie is the one that we're working on. I'm just going to click on that and get ready to paste in the new blocks that we just copied. So we're essentially going to do the same thing we did with the other email here, but backwards. So we're going to click on this address information block, and again, select the HTML tab. It's going to take you to a page full of code, and you just want to delete all of that. You want to start with a blank code. You're going to copy in the other code from our Word document. So leave that as it is, and let's just navigate to our Word document and highlight all of the code for the address block. Once we've done that, we're going to go back to this code view that we were just in and paste it all. Okay, so we pasted it in. I just want you to notice where the cursor is. If your cursor is not directly after this last closing bracket, what you need to do is go ahead and delete until it is. What you're deleting that you don't see is a carriage return. Sometimes it picks up that page break, just the background kind of noise of that. And if you don't delete those, and sometimes when you hit this update button, which is how you confirm all of this, then it's going to give you an error message. So let's see if that took care of it. Okay, so it did. We're in here, everything looks good. We're ready to move on to the next one, which is the buffet block. So again, we're just going to find that buffet block and double click on it so that we can get into the editor. Again, click on that HTML code view tab. Once that new window pops up, I'm going to delete everything that's there. I'm going to return to my Word document. And now let's scroll down to the buffet block. Let's highlight all of that. Copy it. Again, return to our email. We're still in this code view, so it's a super simple just to paste. Again, you'll notice this cursor is down on the line below table. So I'm just going to delete until I get right next to that closing bracket. Say update, and there we go. It's been updated with the new info. So save to get out of that one. And do it again one more time with this bottom footer block. So again, click to get inside. Select the HTML code tab, and let's delete everything that's existing. Back to our Word document one last time. Highlight all that footer code. Copy it. And paste again into our code view. Again, I notice that I've got some extra baggage there, so I'm just going to delete until that's gone. Click the update button, and there we go. That's been fixed as well. Everything looks good. So last, you remember I told you I was going to show you an easy way to fix this forward to a friend button. All you have to do is click into that tab, actually click on the button to highlight it and delete it. And over here on the left, you're going to see forward to a friend. All you have to do is click on this plus sign. It's going to pop up a window that's going to kind of explain to you what you're doing. I like the default on this, which just is a gray forward to a friend box. Looks just like what we had on there. When you insert this one, it is actually going to work for your account. So let's just save that, and everything looks ready to go. Again, the last thing that I would encourage you or highly suggest that you do is to go ahead and review your header options and make sure all your spelling is correct. Make sure you've got the right pizza of the month on there. And then let's hit this preview. Make sure all of our links work. Eventually. All right, so the header takes us to Double Dave's Pizza Works. That's good. We wanted that to do that. Let's see our Order Online tab. That works. If you guys want, let me exit out of here. If you want this Order Online link to link directly to your online ordering page, it's a really simple thing to do. When you click in there to edit and you double click on that doubledaves.com, it's going to pull up this insert link. You want to keep it at website address. You want to keep the text to display as link the same. But here you can actually type in, or it might even be saved into your account, your actual Double Dave's homepage URL. Let's just insert that and save it. Let's do another preview again. See what happens when we click on that. Beautiful, that worked. So, guys, if you do need to know how to grab your your URL for your individual store location, just navigate to your page on our website, and it's literally just copying what's up here in the address bar. All right, so that one looks good. Make sure that our expiration date is correct. Make sure all of your type is good. I will have done this for you, but you know that we all make mistakes. So it's always a good bet to double check my copy. All right, that looks good. Buffet block looks good. Let's see this last website link. Yep, that seems to be working just fine. Everything looks great. Oh, for different, let's try that. So now you're going to see what your customers will get if they do open this forward to a friend window. It's just an opportunity for them to type in their name and email address and then all the people that they want to forward it to. All right. Let's close out of that. One last thing is to go ahead and type in your email address. It should be, your default will be in there. You can change it if you need, if you want to try a different email address or whatever. Send yourself a test of the message. Go open it up and make sure it looks good before you follow through with scheduling your email, getting it ready to go. So I hope this works out well for you guys and that you're able to use the tips I've given you to make creating new emails a little bit easier. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, and look forward to more tutorials coming at you soon. Thanks.